Funny. That's funny. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see. Audio check 1 2 3 in the microphone. Okay, that's working. I'm hearing some other stuff, but I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, I'm kind of that way too. Oh God. Well, no, I'm not so sure I do after that. So, um, yeah. I don't know where did. Okay. Um, I forgot to call for the Paul. It looks like Paul and Barry's in here. Barry, I forgot to call you later or earlier today and make some arrangements for getting your audio on here. We'll have to put that off till next week, I think. But glad you're there monitoring. The chat room is open. By the way, Paul. So are you guys hearing my audio on the microphone? Okay. Okay, Barry. We'll figure out when one way or the other. Not sure next week works. He said. Okay, Kat. I'll talk to you in a little bit. Bye. All right. Then I need to go with these headphones. So, Paul, the audio's okay. Coming over YouTube, you're hearing it all right. It looks fine. Okay, gracias. All right, so we'll when we start taking check-ins on the radio, obviously we'll do a little more of that. Let's reframe that a little bit. So yeah, this will be fun. This will be fun tonight. Should be an interesting net topic, and I'll trim out all the extraneous stuff here in just a minute. So or when I get ready to edit it. I got to get a new mic flag piece there. Normally it says this. Yeah, Barry, I'm going to try to figure out some way. Could probably do Zoom on another computer and bring its audio into there so it goes out over YouTube. Going to have to think about how to get it on the radio. So we'll figure all that stuff out. All right. We're about 2 minutes away from beginning the net here. And for the radio, of course, I'm going to have to use a regular microphone because right now I don't have this one fed into the radio, but I'll work on that. All right. And Kathleen, W0KBH, is standing by the log. I've got air monitor, as it were, up there, so that's good. All right. I'm going to go ahead and start this part, and hopefully the audio from the radio, it's fed in. I should be able to hear it in my headphones. Is there somebody monitoring SkyHubLink for a quick radio check? This is KE0VH. And Paul, listen for the radio audio here if somebody responds. Okay, Jim. Very good, very good. We'll get started with the net here. We'll go ahead and get started. Paul, was that audio from the radio okay from Jim? Wherever he was watching your chat there. Okay, Paul, you said you heard it faintly. We'll bump that up. It should be piping through the radio. It's piping through the headphones, so it should be going to YouTube. All right, everybody. Good evening. This is the Monday night SkyHubLink regular Monday night net. We're here every Monday night at 7 o'clock to discuss things of amateur radio and other interesting topics. SkyHubLink is not a closed system in any way. We welcome all users in the true spirit of amateur radio. By the way, we are once again on YouTube tonight. If you did not get the email with the link in it, you can go to the Nets page at skyhublink.com, and you can click on that link and you can see what we're doing over YouTube there. Please remember, during all use of the multi-mode linking system, allow 3 to 5 seconds between transmissions and 1.5 seconds for key up, and then begin speaking. Also, keep that PTT pushed a half second or so after your last word. When more than 2 people are using the repeaters, please do set up a rotation so you won't be doubling over the other parties in the round table. Remember, you're on many repeaters and modes simultaneously when talking on SkyHubLink. Good amateur operating practice is remembering that others may need to use one of the many repeaters on the system, or during your QSO, they may just want to join in on your topic. Let me reset the repeaters. This is KE0VH. Okay, so let's see here. Where was I? It's important, extremely important when you're on SkyHubLink using a hotspot. If you're in the YSF mode, you do not enable your Wires X pass-through. Do not operate your radio in Wires X mode to change reflectors when connected to SkyHubLink. Do use the web interface of your Pi-Star or hotspot to change reflectors. Let's see. Where am I? Please do not use this feature of your hotspot when connected to SkyHubLink. Yeah, Ken, thanks. Yeah, handsome guy on the YouTube side. Yeah, well, I don't know so much about that. At least I'm not breaking the webcam. Hey, we also ask when you're on SkyHubLink, do not kerchunk the repeater to test to see if you're keying it up. Please do come on, though, and verbally ask for a radio check. Kerchunking the system can cause link issues and is really illegal when it gets right down to it, as it is an unidentified radio transmission. Once again, to see if you're making the repeater, actually come on and ask for a radio check. And please do, if you're monitoring the system and you hear someone ask for that radio check, be sure to respond by giving them a signal report or whatever the case may be. If you're going to watch on the YouTube stream tonight, by the way, the chat is enabled. I figured out how to do that this time, so that's ready to go. SkyHubLink is here for safety and assistance for any communication needs, including emergencies. If you hear someone call for assistance or an emergency on SkyHubLink, you can dial your local 911 number, report that you're an amateur radio operator and that you have just received an emergency call, and then give them the details, and they will contact the appropriate agency in the appropriate area. Also, if someone just needs to reach out for any kind of help, let's make sure that they receive the assistance needed if you hear them on one of the SkyHubLink repeaters. Is there any emergency traffic at this time? Okay, we'd like to remind everybody this is a controlled net. All must check in by radio to be recognized by NCS. I might say hello to you on YouTube, but if you want to officially check into the net, go ahead and please do so. If you're listening on the internet stream through Broadcastify, please text me with your name, location, and call sign at 303-704-3290. Please listen carefully to these check-in instructions. Let me reset. Okay, check-in instructions. Say your call sign and only your call sign phonetically twice. And remember, please, to facilitate the system keying up, allow a key up time of 1.5 seconds. Hold that PTT a half second or so at the last syllable so that you don't get cut off. If net control misses you, then please stand by for the next round of check-ins. A couple of net announcements here. Stand by. All right. First of all, like to have everybody, if you get a chance, try out the new 447.100 repeater. It's on Mount Chief. It is not, as of this moment, connected into SkyHubLink, but give it a try out if you get an opportunity. Maybe give somebody a call, see if somebody's listening. 447.100. The PL there is 114.8. 114.8. And the information there is listed on the repeaters page at skyhublink.com. Also, we're working on a new Wires X repeater that will be on a 100-foot tower in Parker, So we'll have a Wires X repeater down there in just a month or so, maybe. We're working on that. And we're starting the beginnings of working on the site. We've gotten an okay from everybody who is involved to have a Boulder repeater now on. We still got to apply for the coordination, but we have a site, we have a tower, and it's going to cover Boulder extremely well, and of course areas beyond. So we're looking forward to that one. We'll let you know as everything progresses for that. So 3 new repeaters. Coming up here for SkyHubLink very soon. This is KE0VH with the SkyHubLink Monday Night System-Wide Net. Let me do a reset. All right, then. Net announcements. I want to see if there's anybody out there who has an announcement or something they would like to let the net know. Once again, we are on the YouTube stream tonight, and certainly excited to get to do that. Let you see what it looks like kind of behind the scenes here from the KE0VH Hamshack as I do a Monday Night Net. And on occasion, we'll have some presentations to put on the screen and this sort of thing. So, really appreciate all of you who might have an opportunity to check that out. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button on there. That would be great if you're watching here tonight via YouTube. So with that, we'll go ahead and start taking check-ins. And first of all, as I normally do, I will take check-ins from system operators and repeater owners. System operators and repeater owners, if you'd like to check into the net, please call with your call sign and only your call sign phonetically twice. And let's get you checked in right now. This is KE0VH.
Alpha Echo 7, Romeo Juliet. That's Alpha Echo 7, Romeo Juliet.
All right then, Randall, AE7RG, got you. Anybody else, repeater owners or system operators who would like to check in, please call now.
Kilo Delta Zero, Sierra Bravo November, 80 SPN.
Okay, Steve, got you. KD0SVN, KE0VH. One more call for system owners, repeater operators. If you'd like to check in, we'd like to take you your check-ins first here on the net tonight. Please call now before we go back to the top of the list.
Kilo Echo 0, Alpha Papa Golf.
All right, guys, we'll go ahead and start out with you now. Alpha Echo 7 Romeo Juliet, Kilo Delta 0 SBN. Hey, Steve, and KE0 Alpha Papa Golf. Shane in Battle Creek, Nebraska. All right, very good. Randall, how are you tonight? AE7RJ from KE0VH.
I've been to the eye doctor, and I've been dilated. Right now, I'm waiting for this dilation to subside. That's what I'm doing. Here we are. Aside from that, all is well. Y'all have a good evening.
Oh, Randall, thanks, man. Yeah, if you're dilated up, you better watch out and not hurt those retinas, right? By the way, I forgot to mention tonight's net topic, and this is what I'd like to hear from everybody about. is tips, hints, and tricks. What kind of tips, what kind of hints, what kind of tricks do you use in your life to make life better? I want to tell you, I just discovered today that, for instance, my telephone carrier has a 55 and older discount, and it actually turned out to be pretty doggone good. I called them and I signed up for it. You might look into that. That's one helpful hint or trick. Another thing, how do you keep your drains clean? Your drains in your house. My wife and I have done this for years, and it's really paid off. I've got a 5 gallon plastic bucket that I fill up, and I put it down each one of the bathroom toilets, and I put it down the main drain here in the basement of the KE0VH household, and I put it down the kitchen sink. 5 gallons, hot water, screaming hot water right out of the bathtub, and it really helps keep your drains clean. Stuff like that. I've got a few more I want to share with you as we go along tonight. But tips and tricks and hints and things to make life easier. It could be anything. Ham radio wise, what are some of your ham radio tips, tricks, or hints that may help somebody? So that's tonight's net topic here tonight. And want to say hi to the guys who are on the chat room on the YouTube channel there. I do want you to check in via radio. We are going to check people in that way. So won't be checking in by YouTube just yet. But if you would check in by radio tonight, so I can say hello to you. John, Paul, Steve, Tom. Let's see, the Tiny Solar Shack is in there. Barry from the BDR.net. We're going to be hearing from him down the line. A special presentation Barry and I will do one night here on the Monday Night Net. So there you go. KD0SBN, Sierra Bravo November. Our good buddy Steve down in Pueblo that keeps the Pueblo repeaters running. Steve, you're up next. Good evening. Welcome to the net from KE0VH. What are some of your tips, hints, or tricks, or something you may have up your sleeve?
Jack, I appreciate you being there and picking me up and getting me in here earlier. Also, in case I'm tripping the backside to my eyelids. You know what? I don't really playing. I have a whole list of those kind of things, working in the shop, building houses, playing radio. But to be honest with you, I can't put my finger on one right now. So I'm going to have to listen out and take a pass for the moment.
Well, all right, Steve. No worries. No worries. I kind of sprung this topic on everybody, but I was hoping that maybe we'll get some good information in here tonight. And since this this net is being streamed on YouTube, it will be recorded, so somebody could go back and watch it if they go, "Oh, what did he say? That was cool. I didn't write it down." So that's kind of the topic of discussion tonight. So let's see if Kilo Echo Zero Alpha Papa Golf. Okay, Barry tells me the off-air audio is nearly inaudible. I wonder why. I'll watch the level on that here. The next one. Shane in Battle Creek, Nebraska, it looks like. KE0APG. Go ahead from KE0VH.
Good evening, everybody on that tonight. KE0APG. Don't think I've ever checked in here. Been kind of hopping around on All-Star, looking around. I do have an All-Star repeater. Actually, it's on a 40-foot tower in my backyard. It gets about 35 miles. It's on my range, I guess you want to call it. And over the years, and make your job a little easier. I'm not hoping to do it from here or there. Here and I'm ready for spring. And just want to say howdy and I'll turn it back to you. This is KE0. I'll pop up and golf. 7 days, everybody.
Okay, Shane, thank you very much. Appreciate that. And yeah, I'm being told that the audio is not getting through. I don't know why. I'm talking on the microphone. The microphone's going in, and the audio from the radio is going in, but for some reason it's not coming over. And I'm hearing it in my headphones just fine. So I don't know. This may not work quite as well until I can get it all figured out. I'll look at something else here. during the next one. All right. And speaking of which, we'll have to take another round of check-ins here. So if you are a 0, 1, 2, or 3 in your call sign, a 0, 1, 2, or 3 in your call sign, let's go ahead and get you checked in now to tonight's Monday night SkyHubLink system-wide net. And I'll work on the audio. Not sure why that's an issue. Because I've got them both sourcing out of the same mixer board. Interesting. All right. Once more, 0, 1, 2, or 3. Let's get you checked in tonight. Welcome to the net. Your call sign and only your call sign phonetically twice. This is KE0VH.
Kilo Bravo 2, India Delta X-ray. Kilo Bravo 2, India Delta X-ray. Kilo 0, Uniform Zulu. Kilo 0, Uniform Zulu. Kilo 2, Delta Yankee. Victor Kilo 2, Delta Yankee. Whiskey 0, Zulu, Zulu, Sierra. Whiskey 0, Zulu, Zulu, Sierra. Zulu.
Okay. Let's see. All right. Maybe. Okay. We'll just feed it this way for the moment. All right, let me tell you who I heard in that group. N0 NDF. Chris, good evening. November 0 Zulu Zulu November. Kilo Charlie 3 Sierra Delta Uniform. Kilo Bravo 2 India Delta X-ray. Kilo 0 Uniform Zulu Victor Kilo 2 Delta Yankee, and W0 ZZS. I like that call sign. That's pretty cool. I think there was another Zulu something in there. If you want to come back and let's try you again. I did not get you. If you want to come back and let me see if I can get you there. Or maybe it was Paul, ZL2BEZ. I see the cat got him there on the list. All right, we'll go with this then. November 0, November Delta Foxtrot. Chris, good evening. Welcome to the net. We're talking about tricks, tips, hints, anything that makes your life go easier that you can think of that you'd want to share with the group tonight. Go ahead and let's hear what you got from KE0VH.
Just a simple little chemistry trick for safe driving in the winter. The windshield ices up. You use just the normal windshield washer fluid. Instead, use half denatured alcohol, written proof, and the other half pure.
Yeah, okay, Chris. We lost the last little bit of that. After denatured alcohol. What did you say? Okay, Chris, one more time. N0 NDF. Let's try one more time. N0 NDF from KE0VH.
The rest of it was just Windex or some for window washing.
Okay, Windex or some sort of window washing material there. Okay, Chris, very good. Well, thanks for being here tonight. Good to hear you as always. You've been around for a lot of years with the Monday Night Net here, and we appreciate you checking in. Have a great week, my friend. Stephen in Leavenworth, Kansas. Hey, Steve, how are you? N0ZZN from KE0VH. What are your tips, tricks, or hints you might have for everybody on the net tonight?
Well, good evening to everybody. You know what? I'm going to have to tell you that you've stumped the chimp over here on this end. I probably have some of those things that I could probably write a book on if I sat down and thought about it, but I can't think of anything offhand. So I'm just going to have to say I'm going to go keep listening to everybody else and go Chiefs. N0ZZN.
All right, Stephen. Those watching on YouTube can see that I've got a big Kansas City Chiefs logo up behind me. So we'll have some fun with that as well. Yep. Go Chiefs. I hope so. It's going to be a tough game though. All right, let's go to Gillette, Wyoming, and talk to Jeff, KB0SUM. Jeff, how in the world are you tonight? All right, one more time for Jeff. Kilo Bravo Zero, Sierra Uniform Mike. Are you there, Jeff?
Jack Baker, KE0HM is here. Kilo Echo Zero Sierra. You know, I don't know. I can catch his call.
Yeah, okay, Jonathan, we got you. And Kat, thanks for changing that over there. We are on NetLogger too, by the way, guys. So, Jonathan, yeah, go ahead, K0SUM from K0VH. Good to hear you. It's been a while.
I listen, don't get on very often. Well, I got a couple of questions. SkyHubLink.com, I work for HRO, and I talk to people a lot about this one here, the link, because of what it does. So I got a quick question. What do you think the most common node on SkyHubLink? You do an awful good job with a bunch of different nodes. So there is KE0SUM back in it.
Jonathan, good question. Which is the more popular mode? I would say probably I'm seeing more people talk on the Wires X side. It seems like, in my experience anyway, there is an awful lot of use of the analog all star side, and of course, we definitely want that to be there. But I would guess during the course of a day, it's probably leaning more towards the digital side. Which here in the Denver metro area, we're kind of looking forward to having yet another Wires X repeater online down in the Parker area here in the next month or two. But that would be my general idea. We've got so many all-star nodes that are logged in, but I think I'm probably hearing more people on the digital side as far as a numeric value goes. What do you think?
J2 is smart to basically give away or for low cost a lot of repeaters, and that made it more popular. I do think it's more popular in the front range. I don't know about the rest of the country.
Well, I imagine if you go on Yaesu sales figures, if we could find those out for the DR2s, that might tell us something. But by the way, W0KPH Cat says hi, Jonathan. And hey, man, thanks for all you guys do down at HRO. We really appreciate you. And hopefully, SkyHubLink will help give some incentive to people to come down buy more digital radios. Who knows? But anyway, Jonathan, thanks for being here. All right, next on my list, and Kat, I have Kilo Charlie 3 Charlie Delta uniform. Kilo Charlie 3, Charlie Delta Uniform. You're next. We'll get you on the log here. Welcome to the SkyHubLink Monday Night System-Wide Net. Tips, hints, and tricks that you might have. I've got another good one here in a minute. What do you have, CDU?
Kilo Charlie 3, Delta Uniform. Good evening, everybody. Tips and tricks. Well, what keep in mind is for those of us who are musicians, if you don't know the key of a song, play good anyway. I was just in the middle of a jazz jam, and I then wound up jamming with a kid in Brazil. We were doing some bossa nova, and I got no idea what I'm doing. Usually I play, gospel music with like a country twang, because I grew up on, the old country songs. And, you usually don't see, like, diminished chord, for example, in country music. So you come across something that you don't know, you just play along and hope it sounds good. So it's a bit of a hit there. And if you make a mistake, just keep playing. And if a string breaks, you keep playing too. I play guitar, so. Anyway, I was put a couple of jams on an app called Sonobus. It's an online jamming app. You can jam with people in real time. It's actually pretty cool. P3, BDU.
Tim, that's a real interesting point. I was always taught by my radio program directors that if you make a mistake on the air, don't hem-ha around it or try to apologize for it. You just move on. So there you go. Yeah, if you don't know it, fake it till you know it, more or less, right? Thank you for being here. Here's another tip and trick for me before we go down to Robert in Australia there. Or actually, Ken, KE0VH is next. Let's see. Pam, the cooking spray Pam. If you spray that on your little satellite dishes, believe it or not, it'll help keep the snow out. It'll really, really make a difference. I actually used that a few weeks ago at my Steamboat Springs radio receiving site where I have a big 1.8 meter satellite dish, and it actually helped keep the satellite dish from freezing and having snow packed on it until we could get the dish heater repaired. It was pretty cool. By the way, hello to Jeremy and 6JER in Roseville, California. Jeremy's listening there on YouTube. So, Kat, if you want to go ahead and check Jeremy in, because I know he doesn't have a radio capability right now. But hi, Jer. Hi, May, or whoever may be listening out there. So let's go to Ken and Castle Rock, then Robert, Harold, and Paul. Ken, good evening. KE0VH from KE0VH in the Monday Night SkyHubLink System-Wide Net.
Hey, good evening, Jack, and the rest of the net. Glad to be here, and thanks for all that you do to get this net going. Couple things. First off, I just wanted to kind of echo what Jack said about the new repeater on 7.1. I'm in Castle Rock. I'm actually behind the rock, so I'm kind of shaded. But it does a great job down here, so finally we have some coverage that if you haven't tried it, I would definitely try it. I can hit it with 3 minutes from Castle Rock. So as far as the tip goes, I used to have a problem with a lot of moisture, water, and things getting into connections like PL259 into an SO239. I found that if you put some glue, and almost any kind of glue will work, put some glue on the inside of some heat shrink, and then pull that up over the connector and go ahead and shrink that. The glue comes off if you ever have to take it off. But I do that, and then a couple layers of some good quality electrical tape, like Scotch 33 or 88 or something like that, wind it in opposite directions. But I had them up for years and just cut them open, and they're just as bright and clean as it was the day I put it on. So that's my tip for the evening, and back to net control.
Yeah, hey, thanks, Kim, for all those comments. That's really some good stuff. And I appreciate you giving us a report on 447.100. By the way, Jeremy in Parker says he just joined the hobby, paid his license fee this morning, waiting for his call sign. Jeremy, welcome. Yeah, we'll look forward to hearing that. And we'll get you checked in maybe next week with your brand new call sign there. He says just past Tech General on Saturday. So congratulations to you, Jeremy in Parker. And hey, you might think about picking up a digital radio because we'll have that new Parker SkyHubLink repeater on the air here, well, within the next couple of months anyway. So keep watching. Sign up for the email, by the way, guys. If you haven't signed up for the SkyHubLink email yet, the email list, go to the join contact page on skyuplink.com. All right, next on the list is Robert. Well, actually, Robert, I'm sorry. I've got to go to Kilo Bravo 2, India Delta X-ray. And Kat, we need to get KB2IDX in there after Ken in Castle Rock. So Kilo Bravo 2, India Delta X-ray, and then we'll go on to Robert. I'm sorry, I wrote something down that Kat must not have heard. KB2IDX from KE0VH and the Monday Night Net. Go ahead.
Good evening. Yeah, and everybody on the net. That's okay. Not to worry. Little tricks. Well, I have a problem, or had a problem, with any of my radios on my desk. When I push a button, they slide all over the place. And so I did a little bit of quick research and found some appropriate stick-on rubberized pads, and now they don't slide anymore. Of course, you don't want to hit it too hard anyways. I have a friend who I asked what he does, and he said he uses alien tape to keep his rigs from sliding. And I thought that was kind of weird, but then again, hams are weird. We all are, right? But we're happy. And that's the important thing, having fun. Back to net control, KB2IDX.
Okay, Chris, excellent. You know, and another thing that people might do is comment on some of the things that we've tried for some of these various problems, and maybe they've come up with something that works really well for them, maybe even better, whatever the case may be. So that's a good one. How do you keep your rigs from sliding around? You know, I used to set some rigs up on occasion, some little mobile rigs on the dash of the truck. I learned not to do that after a while, and then started fastening them down properly. But had some fun with that, trying different things here. Let's see. Let's go. Don't forget, guys, we are streaming on YouTube tonight. If you'd like to take a look inside the KE0VH Hamshack here, and we've got the audio going, and it will be recorded for posterity. So there you go. VK2DY. Finally going to get to you, Robert, down in Kellyville Ridge, New South Wales. Robert, how are things down under? And let's see, Tuesday morning there. What's going on in Australia? VK2DY from KE0VH.
VK2DY, Robert in Kellyville Ridge, New South Wales, an old part of the urban sprawl that is Sydney. 27 degrees Celsius, 80 Fahrenheit, 65% humidity, overcast. It is a warm, moist day out there today, I tell you. And also, it's happening here. Well, the school year has begun, so things are a lot quieter out there now with the kids and the parents all locked up and not going places anymore. Used to be lots of kids out and about, but now that the new school year has begun, the kids are no longer there. We're planning to take a trip somewhere near a beach now too, because things are a lot quieter in all the holiday resorts as well. So that's what we're looking forward to. Anyway, as far as tips and tricks, I keep drawing a blank. The only thing I can think of is I keep a I keep an empty credit card. Well, it's a bank account with 22 cents in it, and I use that for all my online transactions. It's stored in Amazon. It's stored in eBay. It's stored everywhere. And since bank transfers are instantaneous between banks, I just when I buy something off of an online shop, I give them the empty credit card, and then I just transfer the money right away. I got the DSB and account number and all of the stored places, so just transfer it instantaneously into the account and pay the bill that way. They can't take any more than I put in there, so I think that's a safe shopping technique for me. VK2DY, back to net.
You know, Robert, that's a real good idea. Really, really good idea. There's some real good tips, I think, on keeping things separate and helping out financially there. Robert, thank you for being here tonight, as always. Good to hear from our friends down under there, and we'll look forward to talking with you again next week, or maybe on the International Wires XNet on America Link. I will probably be back to do net control on that one this next week as well. Don't forget, guys, once again, we are on YouTube tonight streaming the net. You can go to the Nets page at SkyHubLink.com and go down to the Monday Night System-Wide Net and click on the link there. And there we are. Would like to add you to the folks who are watching and streaming via YouTube tonight. It's just kind of a fun thing that I thought I'd start doing, and we'll have some fun with it. And actually, the more I get into this video thing, we'll start being able to do some video presentations and whatnot. So stand by for that. All right, W0 Zulu Sierra. Let's see. I've got you in Pueblo. Oh, Pueblo. Okay, it's Harold down in Pueblo. W0ZZS. Good evening. Welcome to the Monday Night Net. We're talking about tips, hints, and tricks. It's a little bit of a tongue twister, and I'm a professional pronunciator. Don't try this at home, right? What do you think there, Harold in Pueblo? Good evening.
Your call real quick, the full call, will you please?
Harold, if you're asking me to give you a phone call, I can. I'm conducting the net. If you want to shoot me an email with what you need, I'll be glad to try to assist there. Did you have any comments for the net tonight?
Got a bunch of them. If my thumb will hold under my left on the finger, P65 or. I just need your call. Your call time for the log. I haven't got it on here. Anyway, here's the girl. There's Sugar in Pueblo, Colorado. Born and raised in Pueblo and lived in Honda, Colorado for the last 17 years. Moved back into Pueblo to be with family. So we moved into an apartment. Nice apartment. Only trouble is I can't have any outside antennas. So I've got some. Anyway. I got some questions for some of the guys here. Is there any way that I can use my Echo Link? I just got a mic and a speaker on the computer for Echo Link now. I've got a little note number that I've had here, and I also have a note number for my Link radio set up, but I don't have it hooked up yet. Anyway, is there any way that I can use Echo Link to get into this SkyHubLink system and to show what are the note numbers and call signs of any repeater or something I might want to check into if anybody knows that. Anyway, we'll say hi to the fellow that works for HRO also. Tell him that I had a nice chat with Woody up there on the telephone when I ordered my MSG 1625 apartment antenna, and we got it in. So when you go to work, say hi to Woody again for me. And see, yeah, man, yeah. Music friends for sure too, and I'm a singer, but play a keyboard and play string banjo and play guitar and bass guitar and play drums. So we love our music also. But I'm still getting my ham radio stuff set up for. I don't want to hold it too long. I'll talk my repeater out here. So back over to you, Peter Rose ZZS, and give me your call sign, please. Over.
Yeah, okay, Harold. Call sign here is Kilo Echo Zero Victor Hotel, KE0VH. And good to hear you coming in on the Pueblo repeater. Yes, we do have an Echo Link entryway into SkyHubLink. All these details, remember, are on SkyHubLink.com. They're on the webpage there, and it's been a while since I've looked at this number, so I'm going to pull it up right here in front of me. And I believe on the connections page, if you go to the connections tab at skyblink.com, it'll have a listing of all our different modes and the node numbers to go along with it. So Echolink is W0SKY, Whiskey Zero Sierra Kilo Yankee dash L, and the Echolink node number is 985839. One of my biggest tips and hints and tricks, go to the skyuplink.com webpage because it has so much more information on it. Sit down and read through it. You can look at the diagrams we have of the system, how everything works. You can see the difference between YSF and WiresX and Pi-Star and DMR. We've got so much on there. The nets page, of course, with all the net listings. So my biggest tip, trick, and hint tonight, other than the ones I've already mentioned, go to skyuplink.com and read through there, and it'll have all the information on the system that you might want. But of course, we're always glad to answer questions. All right, with that, let's go to Paul down under in Wellington, New Zealand. Paul, ZL2 Bravo Echo Zulu. Good evening. Welcome to the net. How are you down in New Zealand?
Kilo Echo Zero Victor Hotel. This is Zulu Lima 2 Bravo Echo Zulu. Yes, good evening, Jack, and all the other members on the net. It's good to hear everybody around, and sounds like Harold had a lot to say, but that's all good. At least he's got something to say. Right, regarding tips and tricks, one of the tricks I've found for cutting coaxial cable is to use what are called in the gardening circles anvil shears, and that is a cutting blade that strikes down on a flat surface. You may be familiar with them for gardening purposes, but they're also great for cutting coaxial cable. I've cut everything from RG58 to RG214 with those, and they produce a nice flush cut. So they're ideal for doing things like short circuit stubs, and also for putting nice flush pieces of cable into a connector. That's my hint. Anvil shears. So go find some in your hardware store, and you'll be quite surprised how good they are for cutting coaxial cable, and they make a nice flush cut compared to normal old side cutters. Anyway, back to you, Jack. KE0VH ZL2BZ, over.
Yeah, okay, Paul, that is a really good one. That is a really good one. Cutting and putting PL259 connectors on coax is one of the hardest facets, I think, of amateur radio, without a doubt. And I've noticed there's a lot of really good ideas on how to do that efficiently, but that's a new one. That's a new one with those cutters you're talking about. I'll have to try to see if I can find some. But lots of good YouTube videos on how to do PL259 cables that make it a lot easier without worrying too much about what a bad connection you might make. So I'd encourage everybody to take a look at that too. Let me go to my cohort in crime down there in Pueblo, W0KPH. Kat, any useful hints, tricks, or tips regarding amateur radio? I know that you and your husband, Earl, made a really awesome portable antenna for your POTA use. What do you think? W0KPH from KE0VH.
Good evening, Jack and the Net. This is W0KPH from Pueblo, where we currently have no temperature because I have a big 0 on the monitor. Anyway, we made a 3-foot diameter steel dish that we put a magnet mount antenna, a 3 mag mount antenna, just a mag mount on it, and then put the correct connectors so that we can change coax and everything. And I can use, I use a Wolf River coil and I use ham sticks on it, and I don't have to run out any radials. And the tuning is extremely, with the Wolf River coil and the SWR meter, we're having great success. Anyway, it's a 16 gauge 1018 steel, and it's 3-foot diameter that my husband had cut. The reason being is running out radials is difficult for me because I'm in a wheelchair. I either run over them or I can't get on even ground for them. So we came up with a workaround that I can just slip this disc out onto the ground and be broadcasting in probably 5 minutes with the setup we have. One of my other favorite tips, and it can tie into ham radio, is pool noodles. Pool noodles have so many uses, and I have 3 ham sticks stuffed in a pool noodle that I keep in my car, and the ham sticks are protected, the car is protected, and all I have to worry about is this little noodle rolling around. So I have instant antenna with that. Pool noodles can be cut in half and stuck on the walls in your garage or around pipes so that when you open your car doors, you don't hit them. You can use them on the edges of furniture and glass tables when you have little ones running around in their walkers and you don't want them bumping into things and hurting their heads or hurting the furniture. Pool noodles, that's my tip. This is W0KPH. Back to you, Jack.
Yeah, okay, Kat. Pool noodles. You know, I've seen guys use pieces of those before for like insulators for their radio antennas as well. Some different creative ways that you can do that. So yeah, pool noodles. That's a good one. This is the Monday night SkyHubLink system-wide net. This is Jack KE0VH coming to you live and direct from the underground bunker here in Wheat Ridge, Colorado, on the 448-350 Wires X repeater, and also on YouTube tonight, streaming the net on YouTube just for fun, and another way to listen in and actually see in the KE0VH Hamshack here. We'll give another tour of it one time. I want to thank the 26 people who have so far lined up on YouTube there. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up, since that's what YouTubers say, I guess. Hit that thumbs up. I've got 14 thumbs up right now. Can I get 20? That would be awesome. All right, so we're going to go on now and take check-ins via radio from 4, 5, and 6 land. If you have a 4, 5, or 6 in your call sign, don't have to be in the actual land. If you would go ahead and check in now with your call sign and only your call sign phonetically twice. By the way, the chat room is open on the YouTube stream as well, and we are recording the stream in case anybody wants to go back and check it out for some of the information they may have heard. We'll also use the YouTube stream down the line for some presentations that you can follow along with via that and via the radio here. So let's go ahead and check in 4, 5, and 6s in your call sign and only your call sign phonetically twice. This is KE0VH.
Kilo Delta 4, Alpha Charlie Golf. Kilo Delta 4, Alpha Charlie Golf.
Kilo 5, Juliet, November Tango. Kilo 5, Juliet, November Tango.
Okay, I heard Kilo Delta 4, Alpha Charlie Golf, and Kilo 5, Juliet, November Tango. Hey, Stan, I'm glad you made it tonight. And I saw that you also checked in, as did Jason on YouTube there. So I've got Jason and Stan. Anybody else with a 4, 5, or 6 in your call sign who would like to check in, please call now. We'll get you on the list, and we'll go back to the top with Jason. This is KE0VH.
KW5 USA, Loveland.
Yeah, all right then. We'll go ahead and go with you three here. KD4 Alpha Charlie Golf, Kilo 5 Juliet November Tango, and Kilo Whiskey 5 USA. Great call sign there, Jason in Loveland. All right, Jason in Florida. Jason, let's see what you've got. Helpful trips. I don't know why this is turning out to be such a tongue twister. Tips, hints, and tricks. Even when I'm reading it, I'm having trouble saying it. Tips, hints, and tricks. What you got for us tonight, Jason, down in Florida? KD4 ACG from KE0VH.
Well, good evening to you, Jack, and the rest of SkyHubLink, KD4ACG in Florida for one more week, and then the next 3 Mondays I'll be out west. I'll try to check in while I'm out there. Well, I've been trying to think of some, and I think I came up with 2 hints that could be useful. One of them is regarding the shack. I've got quite a few radios, HF, sort of dual banders in different modes and a few other things, and they can fill up a desk pretty quickly. So I found online, I guess a couple of years back now, these adjustable little shelves. They're probably, give or take 12 inch by 12 inch with adjustable legs. And I picked up a couple of those. I think I probably spent about $25 on them. And I stack all my radios on them. And the nice thing is that they're also punched out kind of like a pegboard pattern, if you will, with holes every inch, inch and a half, whatever. So I can use the mounting brackets that come with the multiple radios, attach the brackets to these shelves, and then put the radios in the brackets. And they don't slide around when you go pressing the buttons on the radios. So it saves the space and makes it a little bit easier to operate. I think my QRZ page might have a picture of it. I can't remember how old the picture is on there, so maybe you'll see it, maybe you won't. Let me reset once to reset the timers. One more tip, particularly for, I know there's at least one soon to be new ham on here, and I'm sure there's others. And this is coming from somebody who lives in a deed restricted HOA area called the state of Florida. Don't underestimate the potential of a small antenna, an indoor antenna, especially for HF. I can't have anything outside, so I've got a 20-meter, homebrew dipole in the attic cut for 20 meters, and that's done me very well with probably 130, 140 countries in the log. I'll have to go back and take a look. Definitely takes a little bit of work, but especially with the solar cycle finally starting to come up, I'm hearing activity on 20 meters and even on 10 meters, and a lot of stuff coming out of zero down here. So who knows? Maybe I'll hear some of you on HF and on C4FM on 10 meters. Maybe I'll hear you there as well. That's it. I'll pass it back to you. Have a good week, everyone, and we'll catch you the next time I can check in. KD4ACG.
Yeah, okay, Jason, very good. Yeah, that's some really good information. I am thinking about redoing my ham shack, and once again on YouTube, you can see my shelves that I have here that have the radio, the tuner, and the amplifier on it, and then some of the stuff underneath there. And then on top, I've got a couple of computer monitors right now, and that big middle monitor gimbals down in front of me to be used for the flight simulator setup. But these shelves are heavy wooden oak shelves, and I kind of want to redo that. I'm working on that. So you've given me a couple of possible ideas there. That's really, really cool. So, Jason, thank you. Let's see. Next on the list is my good buddy Stan down in Bogotito, Mississippi. Stan, hope you're doing well down there, man. You may get some cold temperatures and whatnot, but really glad to have you back on the net tonight. K5JNT from KE0VH. We're talking about helpful tips and hints and tricks. What do you say, Stan? Good evening.
Good evening, Jack, and everybody on the net from Kilo 5 Juliet November Tango. Jack, just so you know, I mentioned it to you, I did take my extra exam this weekend.
Yeah.
And passed. And should have my new ticket in the mail. So I can now work any portion of the bands that I want to, and I don't have to look at my band chart up here in front of my desk and make sure, okay, am I licensed for this or not? So been sitting here working some 80-meter FT8 while the net's been going on, so kind of been multitasking in the shop. My tip, and this is one I started sometime back, and I can't remember where I picked this up at. But once I got to a certain age and was having to take medication on a regular basis, I started saving the pill bottles. I've rinsed them out and brought them out here to the shack. So if I work on a piece of gear out here in the shack and I take all the screws out, I drop them in that pill bottle and put a cap on it. So that way when I get ready to reassemble it a few days later, I'm not missing a couple of screws putting things back together. So save those pill bottles. They come in real handy on the workbench. That's my tip. And back to you, Jack, K5JNT.
Yeah, okay, Stan. Okay. Yeah, that's really a good idea. And I've got something else too. I'll go get it while the next guy is talking here. And I've got a droopy mic boom here. This microphone keeps going down and down and down and down. The one that I'm using for YouTube, the Heil Classic Pro microphone here. But Stan, no, that's a really good idea to keep some of that stuff handy. You can also, I guess, sort the screws and have different sizes and know which ones that you need there. So there you go. Good on you. Good on you. K5JNT, I'm so glad to have you in here tonight, Stan. Of course, Stan is one of my cohorts and colleagues with EMF and K11 Air One Radio. So always glad to hear you, Stan. Don't be a stranger, please. All right, Jason and Loveland, Kilo Whiskey 5, Uniform Sierra Alpha, KW5 USA. Man, what a great call sign. What you got for us tonight, Jason? What kind of tips and tricks? This is KE0VH. Go ahead.
Good evening, Jack, and I don't have any tips or tricks or really anything. I'm sorry to say, I didn't really come prepared. I just wanted to hop in the net and say hello. I don't get to listen too often, so when I do, it's a pleasure. And thank you, Jack, for doing everything that you do. So just a quick hello to everybody out there, and welcome to our folks from halfway around the world over in New Zealand. So welcome, and hope you guys have a good evening from Loveland, Colorado. KW5 USA, back to that.
Yeah, okay, Jason. Well, welcome. We are, of course, super glad to have you in here, coming in through Loveland and on the Wires X machine up there. Stan, you were talking about the pill bottles there for holding screws. This is one of the handiest gadgets that I've ever had. And I really love this thing. It's a heavy magnetic. You can see it on YouTube. I'm showing it on YouTube. but it's a handy dandy, heavy duty magnetic screw tray. And as you can see, I have a drill bit in there for just when I need it. And I'm looking around, where's my screwdriver? I set that stupid thing down here somewhere. But you can, once again, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see this. And it's just, I don't know, $8 or $9. These are heavy magnets on the bottom. So they really set themselves down on metal. And of course, the screws are magnetized there as well. So it's a very good thing. My wife actually bought me that for a birthday or something. And it was really cool. Let's see, what else do we have on this list? I think that's that for this list. All right, let's go to 7, 8, and 9. 7, 8, and 9 in your call sign. If you'd like to check in, please call now with your call sign and only your call sign phonetically twice. And welcome to the SkyHubLink Monday Night System-Wide Net. If you have a 7, 8, or 9 in your call sign, please call now. This is KE0VH.
Whiskey Yankee 7 Kilo Yankee WY 7. Back King Charles 8 Ox Queen Victor King Charles 8 Fox Queen Victor. Kilo Delta 7 Delta Zulu Delta Delta 7 Delta Zulu Delta.
Okay, I heard, let me tell you who I heard that time. Whiskey Yankee 7 Kilo Yankee. So Tom got you up in Cheyenne. Mark, KC8FQV, and Mike down in Canyon City, Kilo Delta 7 Delta Zulu Delta. There was another Whiskey 8 in there. There was a Whiskey 8. I was not able to completely copy your call sign because you and Tom kind of crashed there. So the Whiskey 8 station, come back one more time if you would, please. Okay, one more time. I got everybody except the Whiskey 8 there at the beginning. The W8, if you would come back and let's get your call sign one more time, please.
November 8 Zulu Zulu Foxtrot / Alpha Golf.
Okay, November 8, Zulu Foxtrot. Got you in there. All right, let's go back to the top of this list and talk to Tom up in Cheyenne, Whiskey Yankee 7 Kilo Yankee. Hey, Tom, good evening. Welcome to the net. We're talking about tips, hints, and tricks in life here. What do you got for us tonight from KE0VH?
Well, good evening, Jack. Good to hear everybody on here. Just having a little trouble with the 400 up here. For some reason, I was listening. It was breaking up a little bit. Might be a path or something. Up there on Pilot Hill, you never know. But I've been here. You got Loveland machine. Also, you're in Squaw from here, so they're coming in good. And tricks. Let me see. Okay. I think the one that I use the most is you can buy these multicolor tapes, and like roll. You
got red, green, blue, light blue, not green. I use those on all my coax feeds, both at the antenna point and at the shack point. So I don't fumble it around trying to figure out what coax is, what is that, a VHF, UHF, HF. So I use those exclusively. Here, I guess that's the biggest tip that I've got that I use here at the shack. Everything's fine here, 3 below 0, so put another log on. Use that. KE0VH, good to hear you. WY7KY.
Yeah, okay, Tom. Doggone. I am not even seeing Pilot Hill connected into the system right now. I wonder if we've had a link issue up there. It's winter here in Denver. It's winter where you are, and it's quadruple winter up on Pilot Hill. That place has just been not only impossible to get to, but I'm surprised anything is still running up there. I'm not even seeing Pilot Hill connected into the system right now. So while we talk to Mark, KC8FQV here in Aurora, Ohio, I'll try to see if I can get it to reconnect or, oh, wait a minute. There it is. Okay. It literally just popped back in, I think. So Tom, real quick, do you have a minute to switch over to Pilot Hill and see if you can hear it and talk on it? WY7 Kilo Yankee from KE0VH. Tom, do you have time to do that real quick for me?
Absolutely, Jack. Well, I've been on the Pilot Hill the whole time. 447-400. It's been up full scale here at the house, so it is up. Back to you, Jeff.
Okay, yeah, I'm seeing that. I can't imagine I overlooked it here on the list because I looked real carefully. Okay, very good. Tom, thank you. Appreciate that. As always, if you hear anything with the that repeater up there, please do let me know. KC8FQV from KE0VH, Mark in Aurora, Ohio. Mark, you're next. Good evening. Welcome to the net.
All right, Jack, KC8FQV. Yeah, I heard you were doing the YouTube stream, and it came very well close synced up. I don't really have any kinks or anything. Just wanted to stop in and say hello. We were just trying to get rid of the cough or cold, but they did give me medicine, so we gotta go through that course, and then we'll find out what happens from there. But other than that, I don't got much really that I could say that I would have for the instant kinks. So we'll send it back your way, Jack, but can't wait to see you in the shack there. That went pretty well. Some of you guys, I know N3NTV has done that. Dave, different times he did that. We had a local club would do the first Thursday. They would do it there, but I have to go and check that next week maybe. But I'll send it back to Jack. Yeah, I see the cough went straight in, but we'll send it back your way, Jack. KC8FQV.
Yeah, okay, Mark. Well, I hope you feel better, and we'll look for you next time. Take care there in Ohio, and we'll catch you next time. Let's go to Kilo Delta 7 Delta Zulu Delta. Mike down in Canyon City, Colorado. Mike, how are you? It's good to hear you. I guess that analog repeater down there in Pueblo is working well for you these days, I hope. KD7DZD from KE0VH. Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, Jack, and everybody on the net. Yeah, that repeater down in analog repeater on Backlight Mesa is much improved since you guys upgraded it. Much better performance in the Canyon City. Really pleased with that. Couple other things. One, I have a roll-up J-pole, a dual band roll-up J-pole. It really is great on my handheld. I've been happy with it. And the other thing, I really like the ARRL machine on the air. Lots of really good information for beginner and intermediate hams. I've been subscribed to that for a couple of years now. Really learned a lot from it. And just really happy with that. Also, I'll confirm, I forget who it was, the spraying PAM on your sunlight. It really does. And glad to know about that, and I've done that myself. And also a quick shout out to Kat, W0KH on her cool noodle Kenton tip. Pretty good also. Anyway, all is well here. We're down to about 0 degrees, not a lot of snow, about 0, and wind chill going to be somewhat below that. So I will say 7 peace to all. It's KE0VH and back to net. Thanks, Jack, for running this net. KE0VH.
Okay, Mike. Well, great to have you in here tonight, and hope you have a good night down there. And yeah, we're glad to have that thing up and operating at full power, and it's got a real good backup system in place too. So we're really excited about that one down there now. All right, next on this list is Patrick. November 8 Zulu. Let's see, what have I got here? November 8 Zulu Foxtrot / Alpha Golf. Patrick, Houghton Lake, Michigan. Patrick, looks like you just upgraded. Welcome to the net, and congratulations on that upgrade. We're talking about tips, hints, and tricks tonight that you may have to just help make life better. Doesn't have to be ham radio oriented. It could be, oriented as to how well you take care of your house drains. Like I mentioned earlier, I pour 5 gallons of screaming hot water out of. I put water out of the bathtub and fill that 5-gallon bucket up, and I carry it to 4 different drain points in the house. And man, I tell you, I've not had a drain problem for years. It really works well. And every so often we have that drain video inspected, and it's been clear every time so far. Let's keep our fingers crossed. But what do you have for us there, Patrick, in Houghton Lake, Michigan? Welcome to the Monday Night Net. This is KE0VH.
John and everybody else on the net. Thank you very much for the congrats. How I keep my house going, man, is I always have a shop vac in that can do both sucking and blowing. And I usually keep the dryer in that. I blow it out to the outside, and that clearing all the lint and anything else that's accumulated into the dryer vents to blow it outside in that, so we don't have a fire with that. And I always spray my filters with Lysol before I put them into the furnace and that, so that it keeps the germs and bacteria in check in your house, and that it circulates. The first time you'll smell the Lysol, after that you don't, but it sucks in more dust and dirt in that, and it also destroys all the bacteria that you would be breathing in the air through the winter. So that keeps you healthy there. And for your drains, and that is, if you get a clog in that, is pour some vinegar into the tank of your toilet, and that, and put baking soda into the toilet bowl. And then when you flush it, it will foam and will clear out any clogs you have in that to the whole sewer system. So there you go. So that's how I keep my house in order. So there, give it back to Net Control. This is Pat, NATZF in Houghton Lake.
Pat, those are some really, really good items there. You know, you reminded me another one is take your computers out every so often, especially if you have an air compressor, and blow the dust out of them. I do that every couple of months here with my kids' gaming computer next door in the other room as well. And always blow the dust out of those computers. You'll be amazed at how much they collect and how much longer your computer will live if you'll blow the dust out of those every so often. Make sure to hit the power supplies real good too. Go ahead and spin the fans, get the dust out of them. It'll make a major difference. And Pat, just like you, I just cleaned out my wife's clothes dryer just last week. Cleaned out the exhaust hose, got all the dust and dust bunnies. I even opened the dryer up because I do kind of know how to fool with that, and cleaned out the interior of that as best I could, and literally wiped it out on all the surfaces that I could reach. Same with the furnace. I pride myself on having the cleanest furnace room on the block. And my wife says I have absolutely no doubt that that's the case. We really try to take care of that stuff and keep it clean, and it makes it last that much longer. Check and vacuum the filters out once a week, and then wipe down the furnace room, our water heater. Not our hot water heater, but our water heater is in there too. So keep those rooms clean. Stuff will last a lot longer. Okay, Patrick, you're at the end of that list. Let's go ahead and take another one now to be the last list of the night. Any number in your call sign, any place, anywhere, we'd like to check you in. Don't forget, we are on YouTube right now. I want to thank the 22, or we had up to 27 a minute ago, people viewing in on YouTube. I know it's just a net. I know it's just me sitting here listening to the radio and talking, but appreciate you checking it out. And we'll be using it for some really fun stuff on down the road. So hang in there for that. But let's go ahead and get another round of check-ins now. Any place, anywhere, any number in your call sign, your call sign phonetically twice, please, to check in. This is KE0VH.
Kilo Echo Zero, Foxtrot Alpha November. Kilo Echo Zero, Foxtrot Alpha November, Denver, Colorado, Hudson. Foxtrot Zero, Kilo Tango. Never user. Not sure if I know what else, so I'll go to Alpha Echo 1, Juliet Whiskey. Alpha Echo 1, Juliet Whiskey. Jason. Okay.
Okay, let me hold up there for just a minute because I had some clashes there. Kilo Foxtrot 0, Foxtrot Alpha November, November 2, Kilo, November Kilo, Kilo Foxtrot 0, Kilo Tango, WD0 CIV, AE1 JW, and Kilo Echo 0 Tango Papa Whiskey. That's who I heard. If I missed you in that list, let's go ahead and try to pick you up there. If I missed you in that list, go ahead and come back with your call sign phonetically twice, please. This is KE0VH.
November 0 Kilo Mike. November 0 Kilo Mike.
Kilo Delta Niner Golf Hotel Oscar. Kilo Delta Niner Golf Hotel Oscar.
All right, then. I had a couple of key ups there. You weren't able to get in. I did not hear any audio. Also heard November 0 Kilo Mike, Kilo Delta 9 Golf Hotel Oscar. Stu, you may have the last word tonight, but let's go ahead and see. Was there anybody else? Was there anybody else who was trying to get in that group but did not? Let's get you in here before we close the net out. One more time. This is KE0VH looking for check ins.
Kilo India 0 Alpha Romeo. Kilo India 0 Alpha Romeo. Echo 0 November Oscar. KE0 NO.
Okay, Kat, let's go with that group. I want you to reverse 31 and 32, though. Let's let Burness have the last word tonight. We'll talk about the astronomy net tomorrow night. And Alpha Echo 0, November Oscar. Marvin, we got you. So we'll let Burness have the last word there, KI0AR. But let's go back to the top of this list and talk to KF0 Foxtrot Alpha November. Theodore, Ted in Denver. Ted, welcome. Glad to have you here tonight. We're talking about tips, hints, and tricks that we may have learned over the years. Go ahead and welcome to the net from KE0VH.
Yeah, good evening to everyone in the net. I appreciate you doing this. I just happened to stumble by and figured I'd listen in. And I'm checking in. So I don't know that I've been at it long enough to have a whole lot of tips and tricks. The only thing I would say is I've used the Coghlan's laundry reel, which you can buy in the camping section of your local sports store, for counterpoise line winders. And that seems to have worked out pretty well. So it just keeps it a little tighter, little neater package, and you can sort of disassemble and take out the clothesline, reel in some fairly small and flexible wires or counterpoise. So that would be my only tip. And back to you on the net. Thanks for everyone. Bye-bye. KE0 and back to you.
Hey, Ted, that sounds good to me. That sounds good to me. Great idea there. You know, sometimes counterpoises are necessary for our antennas, and being able to store those, especially if it's going to be portable, is a good idea. Another tip, and I actually showed this on YouTube last week, but I bought this little $1.98 box to house, in this case, a Raspberry Pi Zero and MMDVM board for my hotspot. You can see it on YouTube. I'm holding it up to the camera here. This thing, though, will just about fit a standard size Raspberry Pi as well. So if you need a case for your Raspberry Pi, and it'd be easy to cut the sides out to access the points you need. On this one, of course, you see my USB power cord coming out of it, and I have a hole in the top for the antenna connector. But that's another one. But yeah, anything, tips, hints, and tricks tonight we're talking about, and it doesn't have to be ham radio. Ted, thanks for being here. Carrie, how are you? November 2 Kilo, November Kilo. Great to have you in here tonight. Carrie, of course, runs our Western Slope, Westco, Colorado system connected into SkyHubLink. And Carrie, what you got for us tonight? Hope you're staying warm out there. You're getting a lot of snow in the Junction area, aren't you? Into K&K from KE0VH.
Good evening, Jack. Yeah, we're getting snowfall currently. In the hour or two, we've gotten a couple of inches. Went from roads to icy snowpad accidents where snow up in the mountains. Went up there again when ice fishing. 10, 12, 15 foot per yard. Tips and tricks, goodness. Probably the only thing that I really think of is fire fixes that are on wood posts make great intent. Use you as a run and for your center conductor on it. Make sure you use antenna and you're good to go. Have a good evening. Appreciate you. November
A&K, Grand Junction, on Project Mark.
Yeah, okay, Carrie. We had some cutouts there, but got pretty much the gist of that, I think. That's a good idea. Another great tip that I just thought of that you reminded me of there. Look up coaxial dipole antennas. They're pretty broadbanded, they're pretty quiet, and they really make a good portable antenna. There's an awful lot of different designs for them. Coaxial dipole antennas, real easy to make, and you might want to check those out as well. Carrie, thanks for being here tonight. All right, next on the list is KF0KKT, Jeremy and Parker. Jeremy, welcome to the net. Tips, hints, and tricks tonight. And it doesn't have to be amateur radio oriented. What you got? Welcome to the net from KE0VH.
Well, I don't really have a whole lot of tips because I'm sort of new at this, but one tip that I saw this weekend that I thought was really cool is a gentleman had taken his shack apart and he was lamenting that he did not place any space behind the shelves and the wall because he wanted to be able to reach all of his electrical and umbilical cords behind there. And so if he redesigned his ham shack, he said he would put some space to be able to go back there. So if you have a little bit of space, I would recommend that so you can climb back there without having to join the mice and climb through or whatever. Other thing is, I just noticed in checking in tonight that you really do have to hold back, push the talk button or your keyer a little bit before you talk because I was cut off slightly because I've been doing the winter field day, and you have to react quite rapidly for those HF events. Otherwise, you miss the responses to your calls. And so trying to get in the correct mindset is very interesting. Other than that, I don't really have a whole lot of tips other than if you're trying something. Oh, actually, I do. And that is if you're going to start somewhere, start at the local ham radio operator store. We happen to have an outlet store in the Denver area. And if you live in one of the other Area 11 markets, I encourage you to go visit them because they will save you when you open up the box and discover something important like there's no power module in this radio. You have to buy an extra power supply, which if you're a seasoned ham operator, you might know that, but if you're a new one like me, you might not. Anyway, I've sort of rambled on, but to me, it's important to enjoy the hobby, so try new things. So what those coaxial antennas you're talking about, when I did that, actually put it out on the roof, it was really simple. Just roll it out there and make sure it was straight. And it worked out really well. So try something new. Don't be afraid and seek out help from your nearest elders, I guess, because that will make your life a lot easier. Anyway, 73 Stevie back to net control. This is Kilo Foxtrot 0, Kilo Tango.
Okay, Jeremy, very good, very good. Yeah, that's the one problem I have here in my ham shack. There is not any room behind my shelves where my radios are. I slowly have been, last week I showed everybody the rack that I'd put some equipment in and have slowly been cleaning out this area behind the shelves here. And it's made a big difference, but I still got a long way to go, and I'm still trying to figure out how to make it a little more accessible back there because I'm kind of up in a corner of this room here, and it's the best we can do at this point. So there you go. Jeremy, thanks for being here. Charles, WD0CIV, it's your turn. Welcome to the net. Okay, WD0CIV from KE0VH. Charles, are you there? Okay, well, I guess we missed Charles there. Alpha Echo 1, Juliet Whiskey, Jason in El Paso, Texas. You're next on the list. Good evening. Welcome to the SkyHubLink Monday Night System-Wide Net.
Good evening, Nick. Control there, wonderful Nick. I heard the Nick blowing on, and I was just jumping in and shaking. I don't really have any home running kind of tips. Not too much of
anything as far as that goes. I can touch on the shop vac subject about gentleman that was saying they know about his ductile. I actually use my shop vac as a vacuum, and it works great. So I guess that's a little tip. You don't have to worry about it getting clogged up or dumping it out every other time or whatever. But if you have a lot of bad hair, or you have hairy bed like let's use German Shepherd, the shop vac is great because of the hair. You don't have to worry about it. But that's about all I have. So I'll turn it back over to you, Nick Control. This is Alpha Echo.
Jason, welcome from El Paso, Texas. Welcome to the SkyHubLink. Be sure to check out the website, skyhublink.com. And we'll look forward to hearing from you again. Kilo Echo Zero, Tango Papa Whiskey. Joe in Colorado Springs. Joe, welcome to the net. How are you? What you got? Tips, hints, and tricks tonight if you got one. Go ahead.
Well, good evening, Jack. Everybody on the net, you're looking good in living color there. Let's see, I kind of got my thunder stolen by a previous trawler but I'm going to mention it again anyway. When you first get into ham radio, like I did as an old guy, and you get into a club, there's a lot of pick their brain. They know a lot, and they're willing to help you. I learned a heck of a lot from the Elmers in my club. So, that's you got a real good source there. Plus, YouTube is another great source. When you got questions, that's how I learned how to program it via radio and make a code plug for it. Was just going back and looking at films on YouTube. So those are two big, your Elmers in your club and YouTube, I think are two big assets that you might overlook a little bit there once in a while. So I think they're both good assets for ham radio. So when you do, dig into it. And again, don't be afraid to try something new. Like he said, that's another good thing I want to mention. Just experiment a little bit. That's what the whole thing is about. Have fun, experiment, and learn new things, and then ask questions, lots of questions. So with that, I'll turn it back over to you, Jack. Have a good rest of your week, and we'll talk to you down the line. This is KE0VH Back to Back Control.
Joe, thank you very much. K0TPW, K0VH. I appreciate that. And yeah, those, that's the thing too. We've got a lot of people here on SkyHubLink that are willing to help out and give some answers and help where they can. So never be afraid to get on the radio here and ask a question and look for somebody who might want to try to help you out there. By the way, KF0IHL says he's lurking on the Mount Princeton repeater while doing dishes. He said, Sean said, when playing soda, that's Summits on the Air with a Yagi, a guy was out with a trekking pole and a square lash. He lashed the Yagi to it, and you can rotate it without having to hold it and use a radio that way. That's very true. I've hiked some 14ers, and my friend Jim, KC0RPS, and I hiked Mount Lincoln one time, and he brought up a dipole, a 3-element Yagi that was made out of measuring tape. It was really, really awesome. And of course, he could roll it up and stow it. So it was very easy to carry. But he made a lot of contacts with his handheld using that 2-meter Yagi made out of, measuring tape. Pretty ingenious there. Lots of things to do there. All right. Next on the list is our good buddy Dave down in Center, Colorado. Dave, how are you? N0KM from KE0VH. We're talking about tips, hints, and tricks tonight. What you got, Dave? Go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, Jack and the net, N0KM. Well, being there's the amount of delay between the radio and tube, I muted the audio on YouTube, and it really simplified things for me. So, anyway, I agree. The internet, YouTube specifically, and groups.io, and I see you shaking your head. Of course, you did that quite a while ago. Anyway, and local ham club, and just with the caveat of trust but verify. Back to you, Jack. Have a good evening. N0KM.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Thanks, Dave. Yeah, I'm definitely having some issues with the audio, and let's see. I'm getting a couple of other emails there. Um, let's see. Okay, cut in and out. All right, that's good. Um, yeah, very good. Okay, Charlie, W5AIR. Thanks. We're going to keep working on this and try to figure it out and see exactly what's going on there. But thanks for that. And Dave, yeah, I've had some guys say that there's not much latency, and you, of course, there. I'm looking at another monitor that I have up here to my right, and it looks as though there's probably I would say a good 15 to 20 seconds delay there. So, yeah, unfortunately, that's the case, but we'll keep working on it. We're doing it primarily for fun there. So there you go. Let's see. Where am I? All right, Dave, thanks for being here. Thanks for running everything down there in the San Luis Valley. We're glad to have you guys with us as always. All right, Stu up in Chicago, KD9GHO, it's your turn. Stu, good evening. Welcome to the net. We're talking about tips and hints and tricks. What do you got? KD9GHO from KE0VH.
KE0VH and the SkyHubLink net. This is KD9GHO. Good evening. Good afternoon. One kind of general tip. If you're into using mobile rigs or using your hobby in a mobile capacity, one good and convenient way to store all of your ham sticks and other types of antennas, if you can get access to some of those postal mailing tubes with the little plastic caps, comes in real handy for storing ham sticks and other type of mobile antennas. Also works for fishing rods. That's all I got this evening. Back to net. This is KD9GHO.
Stu, that's a really, really good suggestion. I know that sometimes guys have looked for ways to, extend their wire antennas or maybe even make a vertical antenna with a support like that. You made me think of that while you were saying. So good thoughts there. Stuart, be safe. Stay warm up there in Chicago. It's cold and windy up there tonight. Let's see. Marvin in St. Charles, Missouri. Alpha Echo Zero November Oscar. You're next on the list. Good evening. Welcome to the SkyHubLink Monday Night System Wide Net. This is KE0VH.
KE0VH, this is Marv in St. Charles, Missouri, KE0NO. Yeah, I've got a quick little tip. If you want to send somebody a link, you copy a link and send it to them. And after the main part of the link, you see there's a question mark and it's just garbage after it. You can usually delete that question mark and all after, and it'll probably still work. The only exception I've noticed is YouTube. YouTube will often have like youtube.com/ and whatever question mark equals whatever in a very short alphanumeric. That one you have to keep it together. But for many other links, I guess the garbage after the question mark tells the companies involved who did what, for their purposes, not yours. So if you can experiment with it. You can just paste it somewhere else, see if it works for you. But that's a pretty handy way to shorten those annoying long links. This is A0NO.
Yeah, Marvin, thank you so much. I knew that we'd get some really, really good ideas about a lot of different stuff tonight, and that's a good one too. Sure appreciate it. Thanks for being here, and we'll look for you next time there from St. Charles, Missouri. All right, last on the list. We're going to let him have the last word tonight. We're running a little later here than I like to because the Rocky Mountain Radio League net is going on. on 449-450 and 146.94 locally here in Denver. We usually like to end before they start, but we'll go ahead and wrap up this list with our good buddy Bernice, who runs the Colorado Astronomy Net tomorrow night at 7 o'clock here on the SkyHubLink. Bernice, how are you? And what you got for a last word there? And hasn't been much sky watching lately, I guess. KE0VH from KE0VH. Go ahead, my friend.
All right, good evening to you, Jack and the net. Oh, gosh, star watching. Well, the big thing is the comet that's up towards the north, but we'll bounce through. We'll be talking about that tomorrow night and what's going on for February. But tips and tricks, I guess, was it coax seal? Great stuff to use for just about anything. And I redid I finished my basement in 2019, right before COVID hit. So I got all kinds of stuff down in the basement that I fixed up. A lot of the plastic cable raceways so I could corral my thousands of wires that are running behind all my equipment. But one of the things, if you have cats, they have their own room to do their business in, and it has a cat door for them. And one of the things that I did was I wired up a motion sensor and a ceiling fan, bathroom ceiling fan, so that when they go in to do their business, it automatically comes on and vents it. Before in the basement, it wasn't all that pleasant. Now it's not too bad, but a lot of planning if you're going to finish a basement and get it ready for cats and amateur radio, that's for sure. That's not all I got, Jack. This KE0VH. CIV, we're back.
Yeah, okay, Bernice, very good, very good. Well, we'll look forward to having you on the net tomorrow night, and that sounds like a lot of work getting all that prepped. Yeah, okay, Charles, we'll go ahead and let you jump in here before I wrap it up. WD0CIV from KE0VH. We are talking about tips and hints and tricks and that sort of thing. What you got, we'll let you have the last word, and then we'll go ahead and close the net out tonight. Go ahead, Charles.
Okay, hopefully I'm getting through this time. Anyhow, the couple tips I had had to do with main drains. If you have you want to keep tree roots in the summer out of your main drain, going from your house to the underneath the trees and everything to the street, you put a cup of copper sulfate in your toilet once a month. And keep flushing it until all the little blue crystals are gone, and that'll keep the tree roots out of your sewer line. Also, if you have a drain downstairs that you don't run a lot of water in, like you probably run hot water down the floor drain, and if you don't run any water down there and you don't want the gases to come up from the sewer lines, just pour regular antifreeze in it and make sure the steel lid on it, which has holes in it, of course, so the animals don't get in there and lift that up and drink any of it. But anyhow, the antifreeze will not evaporate, and the water that's in the gas trap, or P trap as they call it, will evaporate. So anyway, that's the only two tips I've got. This is WD0CIV, and we're going to turn it back to KE0VH. Take it over, Jack.
Charles, those are really good. Those are really good. I like that. Yeah, Kat says none of this drain stuff works when you're on a septic system. Yeah, I imagine not. I'd actually like for you to write those down, Charles, and send them to me. That's very, very cool. All right, guys, good net, 32 check-ins. Really appreciate everybody who was here tonight. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thanks once again to Skylar, W0SKY, Jeremy and W0JRL, the system engineer for all the work on the SkyHubLinking system, and the Rocky Mountain Radio League, the Denver Water Amateur Radio Club, the Denver Radio League, the N2K&K Wesco repeater system, and Kerry N2K&K. Steve, KD0SBN, Richard, VE5RH, Randall, AE7RJ, and all the other systems and operators here on SkyHubLink. Once again, thanks, Kat, for the spotting and logging tonight. If you'd like to be on our email list, be sure to go to skyhublink.com and click on the Join Connect tab for instructions. You can go to my webpage at KE0VH.com and scroll down the page for information on the net, the SkyHubLink, and my newsletter, the KE0VH Hamshack, which I hope to have a new edition out soon. So with that, we're going to close the YouTube stream and wrap up tonight's net and return all systems to normal amateur use. Have a great night. We'll look for you next week. 73 from Wheat Ridge, Colorado. Peace and long life. This is KE0VH. And good night on YouTube.